In the previous video, we saw Xiao Xun'er being harassed and how Xiao Yan came to her rescue, eventually accepting Liu's challenge. In today's video, we'll break down the details of Xiao Yan's late-night assassination of Liu Shi and reveal the secret behind why Xiao Xun'er fell in love with Xiao Yan. Hey everyone, HKD here. Today we're exploring the Battle Through the Heavens novel to cover epic scenes the anime skit. Let's dive into the full, uncut story of the BTTH universe. In the original novel, Xiao Yan decided to kill Liu Shi on the very night following his fierce battle with Liu. He lay in bed late at night, unable to sleep. After questioning Liu about the limits of his power and receiving word that killing small fry like a Dou-Shi or even a Douling would be no problem with the bone-chilling flame, he made up his mind to take Liu Shi's life. Liu quickly figured out that Xiao Yan wanted to borrow his power to kill Liu Shi. He teased Xiao Yan, saying, "It seems you really care about that little girl Xun'er. That guy was just acting a bit lecherous and vulgar, yet you're already holding a grudge. You really are a jealous little kid, aren't you?" His face flushing red after having his inner thoughts exposed, Xiao Yan retorted in embarrassment, "I'm already running out of time. I can't afford to keep playing games with them. Even if I hadn't run into that guy today, I would have started using other methods anyway." Xiao Yan was indeed running out of time. 2 months after breaking through to Doju, the Jianan Academy would begin its recruitment, and he would have to leave Wu-Tan City for his specialized training. Now, there was less than 1 month left before the recruitment started. If he wanted to leave for his training with a clear mind, he had to completely crush the Jia clan. This is another case where the animation director haphazardly changed the original plot. In reality, Xiao Yan didn't need to reach the rank of Doju at all to withstand Liu's power. Furthermore, in the original novel, Xiao Yan was already a 1-star Doju when he took Liu Shi's life. At this stage, Liu's maximum strength is roughly equivalent to that of a Do Huang powerhouse. This is once again a case of the animation director haphazardly changing the original plot. In the novel, Liu never said those things, and he never interferes with Xiao Yan's romantic life. After all, cultivation and romance are not mutually exclusive. One can perfectly balance both at the same time. This particular scene is actually quite faithful to the original novel. However, in the novel, Xiao Xun'er was wearing a golden dress. Secret techniques are incredibly rare on the Dou-Chi continent. They allow a user to temporarily boost their strength, though the extent of that boost depends entirely on the secret technique itself. Different secret techniques offer varying levels of power increases, and they also come with different side effects. The higher the grade of a secret technique, the greater the boost to the user's strength, and the milder the side effects. Xiao Xun'er's secret technique can skyrocket her power from the Doju level all the way to Da-Dou-Shi, with only a few days of weakness before she returns to normal. This clearly demonstrates just how high level her secret technique truly is. What Xiao Xun'er referred to regarding Liu Shi insulting Xiao Yan was actually from their first meeting. At that time, Liu Shi had mocked Xiao Yan, calling him a piece of trash who hadn't even reached the Doju level. In the original novel, Liu even teased Xiao Yan, saying, hey, it looks like you really struck gold this time." This was because Liu believed that Xiao Yan and Xiao Xun'er shared mutual feelings and already viewed them as a couple. In the original novel, Liu Shi didn't manage to crawl back up until more than 10 minutes after Xiao Xun'er had left. The animation director's decision, whether out of poor judgment or a desire for a faster pace to have Liu Shi get up so quickly, is logically flawed. What if Xiao Xun'er hadn't gone far and suddenly came back to finish him off? In fact, the reason Xiao Yan needs a heavenly flame is to evolve the flame mantra. Without evolving, the flame mantra is merely a Huang-class low-grade Qi technique. It can store very little Dou-Chi, which isn't enough to support his heavy energy consumption, and its ability to absorb Dou-Chi from the world is also limited, resulting in a very slow cultivation speed. This is a glaring error. The location is Wu-Tan City, not Black Rock City. Furthermore, Yao Lao shared the information about Jianon Academy possessing the fallen heart flame with Xiao Yan on the very day he successfully broke through to Douzhu and chose the flame mantra as his chi technique. This was because if Xiao Yan had not chosen to cultivate the flame mantra, then a heavenly flame would have been of no use to him at all. In fact, Yao Lao was privately teasing Xiao Yan in his heart, laughing because Xiao Yan had already heard the truth for himself. In the original novel, there is actually another detail. Yao Lao gave Xiao Xun'er a bottle of medicinal pills to restore her energy before she left. He did this because he knew just how much Xiao Yan cared for her. Since Xiao Xun'er would be quite weak for the next few days after using her secret technique, Yao Lao decided to help her out, so that Xiao Yan wouldn't have to see her looking frail and sickly, which he knew would break the boy's heart. In the original novel, Yao Lao never said anything of the sort. The animation director was clearly trying to speed up the transition to Xiao Yan's departure from Wu-Tan City for his training, but the execution was far too forced and unnatural. So, what did Yao Lao actually say in the original novel? Gazing at Xiao Xun'er's receding figure, he sighed, "Back then, you brats snuck into that girl's room and performed some nonsensical meridian nourishment that was practically useless. Yet, by some stroke of blind luck, you managed to win her heart in the process. Sai, honestly, you're a lucky fellow, lucky enough to make anyone jealous." Since Xiao Yan's mother passed away when he was only 4 years old, he had been wearing Yao Lao's storage ring as a memento of her ever since. Because of this, Yao Lao witnessed everything that happened during Xiao Yan's childhood, including the time he snuck into Xiao Xun'er's room to perform meridian nourishment for her. The author never explicitly detailed how this nourishment was performed, only mentioning that Xiao Yan touched nearly every part of Xiao Xun'er's body. However, at that time, they were both just children under 10 years old. I suspect that Xiao Xun'er's body might have been quite frail back then. At the time, Xiao Yan was the rising genius of the Xiao clan, having already reached the rank of Douzhu by the age of 11. He simply wanted his little sister to get healthier, but being so young, he didn't know the proper way to help. So, he resorted to using his douqi to massage her entire body. He kept this up for 2 or 3 years. It was because of this selfless devotion that Xiao Xun'er fell in love with him, and stayed by his side throughout those 3 years when his douqi vanished and everyone else was mocking him. In the original novel, early the next morning after Liu Shi's death, Xiao Xun'er came to find Xiao Yan to grab breakfast together. However, Xiao Yan noticed her face was pale. He used his douqi to examine her body and, pretending to be unaware of the cause, said in annoyance, "What happened to you?" Xiao Xun'er brushed it off, claiming it was just the result of practicing some those skills beyond her current level, and that she would be fine after a few days of rest. After having breakfast with her, Xiao Yan made up an excuse to slip away and headed to the middle auction house. He handed over the 5 chi gathering pills he had previously promised as payment to Yafei and purchased some medicinal herbs for restoring energy. After finishing his errands, he asked Yao Lao to refine some alchemical pills for energy recovery, which he then sent over to Xiao Xun'er. In the next video, the Jelly clan finally goes bankrupt. Let's see how Jollibee tries to pick up the pieces of this total mess. Thanks for watching. If you liked the breakdown, drop a like. I'm HKD, bringing you more exclusive BTTH novel content soon. Subscribe so you don't miss out. See you in the next one. Peace.